Hey guys, this is Encore Tarot and I am back with another pick a card reading. This reading is going to be about how this person feels about you. So we have 8 piles and I distinctly drew energy for, from the same deck so that we would get energy of all different people as distinctly as possible. So really take your time using your intuition and trying to connect the energy of the groups to the energy of the person you have in mind. And also you can choose a group just to sort of maybe see if you know the person and then get a feeling about how they think about you. And so we have 8 groups, and yeah, I pre-selected cards for the 8 groups. And so we're going to be looking at who this person is, what their current energy is in your life, and then how they feel about you and what actions they intend to take based on those feelings. So pile number 1, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Pile number 2, we have Judgment. Pile number 3, we have the Empress. Pile number 4, we have the Magician. Pile number 5, we have the Devil. Pile number 6, we have Temperance. Pile number 7, we have the Fool and the Chariot. And pile number 8, the Magician again, a different magician. So these cards were, these are all major arcana, and I have a deck that I made that consists of 2 sets of major arcanas only. And so I drew those cards just to get the energy of, the person on like a soul level, their personality. So each of these major arcanas are meant to represent the person's, person, like who they are. They're as a, just an entity, not really in relation to you, but just their overall energy. And so, use your intuition, try to connect to the major arcana and then connect to the energy of your person you're thinking about. And I will see you in your piles. Pile number 1. So your person is the Wheel of Fortune. So these are cards that I channeled about the energy, about their current energy in your life. So we'll look at them. The first cards that came out were, the first one was the Knight of Wands, and then right after the Knight of Wands was the Queen of Wands, which is a very nice progression. And then we have the King of Cups. So first of all, this is someone who has, I don't feel like that they've been in your life necessarily for a very long time, but I think that they definitely are someone who, since entering your life, they have like steadily, consistently sort of grown with you, together with you, or, grown closer to you. Your bond has grown closer, more intimate. And so they've progressed from this Knight of Wands to this Queen of Wands, and then eventually even to the King of Cups. And so, this is something a little separate though. This is like very emotional, so we are getting a little hint, I feel like, of how they feel towards you. But so this is someone that definitely has a deep bond and commitment to you. They definitely want to actively create things with you, and so they are someone who has entered your life, I'd say, in the recent past. So maybe I'd want to say within the past few years, but there's someone who, so I'd say anywhere from maybe like 6 months to 3 years that you've known this person, but since meeting them, you've very much steadily gotten to know them better and grown closer to them, and they've maybe, they've proven more things to you. Maybe they'll do things for you, and they've gradually, started doing more and more things for you, or, you know, it's just they become more and more of a shoulder to cry on, maybe, you know, or just like a rock. It could be that you just sort of, you've began relying on them more with time, which has been sort of in flow and reciprocated by the fact that they've been, you know, giving you this cup of emotion. So they've been giving you the opportunity to do that. So they've been, you know, actively trying to grow closer to you and allow you to rely on them more. And you have, I feel like you've sort of fallen into that role sort of pretty naturally. So now that's a very nice energy. And so Wheel of Fortune, I mean, yeah, I think that this is, there's someone I feel like blonde hair potentially is coming through. I think that there's someone, it says elevation of money. I think that there could be someone who's, you know, well off. I think probably, you know, I think that they're probably a little confident. I think that they're a little sure of themselves and they know what they have. And I think that they very much do know that they're interested in you. And so I think that that made it sort of easy for them to put in this sort of consistent effort to grow closer and closer to you. And yes, and so I think that they're also probably someone who's maybe a little wealthy, or just a little more well off seeming. I am getting like maybe a little Taurus energy from them, also a little Capricorn energy, also definitely Earth energy, which is interesting because these are two fire cards. We don't actually have any Earth energy. We have the King of Cups and the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands, but I'm getting that these are sort of more like the energy of their actions. I don't think that this is their energy. I mean, that is literally what I pulled it as being, so that would make sense. So let's see now. Let's see how they feel about you. So actually what I'm going to get these cards. So we're going to see how they feel about you. Because this is all well and good, you know, like we still need to clarify things though. But I mean, their energy being the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune for me is always like such a beautiful and good card. So I mean, it's sort of almost like automatically they're off to a very good start. That was crazy. Alright, let's see. So how do they feel about pile one? I mean, I feel like they're making it pretty obvious how they feel. Oh my gosh, heart and soul, yes. So they are making it pretty obvious how they feel. Heart and soul, divine order. Divine order mirrors the Wheel of Fortune. So I think, how do they feel about you? No matter how cheesy this is, I think that they very much do feel like you're probably meant to be in their life. Serendipity, oh my gosh, I didn't even see this before I saw that. Yeah, serendipity, so Wheel of Fortune also, these are very similar cards, serendipity and divine order. So I think that with the Wheel of Fortune also, what I'm getting is they're probably someone a little, maybe a little spiritual, maybe a little bit religious. I think that they do very much have like this sort of like godly, energy or belief to them, and so I think that that sort of projects onto how they feel about you. I think that they very much think that it's something that's like, you know, directed by, you know, God or divine order or something. Yeah, so what I'm a little interested in though is so a lot of this is sort of seeming a little bit like platonic love, but very, very deep platonic love. So I'm going to pull some more cards on it to, you know, confirm or deny that. Because I mean, you know, depending on, I feel like a lot of people come to these readings with the expectation of love or romantic love. But just thinking, I think that this person really does see you to be someone very special in their life, someone that they can, have a lot of fun with and do a lot of fun things with. I think that it's someone that they, someone who very much wants to, like, continue to be, like, a growing part of your life. But, yeah, so 10 of Wands, so it could be, if you are coming to this reading looking for to hopefully romantically like you back, well, then we get the 2 of Wands, though. But again, it's Wands, so I think it's a little hard. I don't know, take what resonates, of course. If you know that this person does, romantically like you back, I mean, it could even just be that maybe their version of romantic love is a little different than yours. It could be, that this relationship ultimately isn't sort of like emotionally fulfilling in the way that you want it to be, but I think that there is a lot of love for each other, and they feel a lot of love for you. Temperance. Yeah, they feel a lot of love for you, but it's like they also feel a lot of love, for just how you make them feel and how they can make you feel. And I think that they really appreciate your relationship. And I don't know how much romantic, like, especially, there's very little sexual desire, if that's what you're interested in. And so another thing that's also coming through is, this could very much be if you're, in or looking for, sort of like an asexual relationship where there's not so much, actual real intimacy. I know that's a little different from like the Wands, but the Wands is giving me a lot of just like sort of platonic playfulness. It's not giving me really like anything that's which is weird because the Knight of Wands usually does give that energy, but this Knight of Wands in the Herbalist deck, he's just so complacent, and I think that it could also just be someone who maybe even if there is a lot of sexual desire, there's not a lot of translating that into romantic desire. It's more of just like sort of almost like just objective admiration for each other's like bodies and like experiencing it together. Let's see. Yeah, 6 of Wands. So I think that there's someone that you experience things with. You can do new things with. You can probably, and I think that that's sort of like the divine aspect of it is I think that you guys are probably similar in some ways, and you guys find a lot of like sort of sanctuary or sanctitude in each other, and so your bond really grows very deeply. But I think that it may be intended to remain platonic. And we have the 9 of Cups. So I think that this is also saying, take what resonates. I think that for the people who it's, supposed to remain platonic, you may know that, like, deep down inside. I think that for some people, definitely this could just, sort of turn into a beautiful romantic relationship that's just really heavily, friendship-based, and maybe that's really what you're looking for. And so it's sort of up to you. This 9 of Cups can turn into whatever you want it to be. It can turn into like the 10 of Cups in a familial love aspect, or it can not and turn into something else. And so now let's see what they're gonna do. Yeah, let's see what they're gonna do, because so this is just sort of what I'm getting as how they actually feel about you. And so it could potentially be that if their actions don't align with how they feel, that maybe how they feel isn't really known to them. So we'll see. they gonna do? Ten of Swords. So I can manifest. Queen of Pentacles, though. And the Page of Swords. And then the Queen of Cups. Interesting. So they're definitely offering you something, because look at all of these like court cards. We have the Queen of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and Queen of Cups. So this is very interesting. And then we start out with the Ten of Swords. So their actions towards you, I mean, to start off we have the Ten of Swords. That is absolutely no action. But then we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is very much literally like delivering something, you know, like she's holding this coin. Oops. She's holding this coin. This is so weird. Then we have the Page of Swords getting ready to deliver some news, but his back is turned against the Queen of Pentacles and is looking towards the Queen of Cups, but the Queen of Cups isn't looking at him. She's looking down at her cup. So their actions towards you are going to be scattered, probably because they don't really understand how they feel, honestly. I think that they do know that they have a lot of platonic love for you, and so honestly now I'm getting that this could be, okay, this could be some sort of like karmic type relationship, not like in a bad way necessarily, but just in a way where you guys are meant to learn lessons from each other. And so I think that you guys are very similar in a lot of sort of like trauma bonding ways. So I think that you guys learn a lot of things from each other, and it really bonds you guys deeply. And maybe you guys, it could be even that like you both, maybe you think that you want something romantic and this person kind of doesn't, more consciously doesn't want something romantic, but they try it anyway. But I mean, there's something where they're confused about their feelings, but they do not feel the same way about how you feel about them. But I think that you only feel the way that you feel about them because you're sort of not seeing something. But so I think what they're going to do is, I think that they're probably going to, I think that you guys are probably going to do things like, yeah, get more intimate, and I think it's probably going to confuse one or both of you. And, you know, maybe there'll be some like actual like moments of, you know, physical intimacy, but I think that it may, yeah, I think that you may have an expectation of romance where the other person may potentially not, or maybe you express something or they think that you want something romantic and they know that they don't, but they try to offer that to you anyway, and then eventually it just sort of fizzles out and they sort of let you know that it fizzles out. Maybe it fizzles out unbeknownst to you. But these are all just sort of messages that I'm randomly getting. But I think it all just sort of boils down to the fact that you guys are ultimately supposed to, I think that you guys are supposed to ultimately be a sort of deeply loving platonic connection. And I think that maybe how deeply loving and like similar your traumas are, you guys really think or assume that you should have a sort of romantic role in each other's lives. But I think that you will, if you do attempt one, I think that you will soon see, I think that one person will shut it down and really soon feel and realize that that's not really where this connection should be. Yeah. Okay, that's what I have for you, pile one. Sorry if that triggered you, or if you didn't really if you didn't really like that. Maybe you could feel free to pick another pile, but I will say how I feel and what I see. And yeah, there is, don't be fooled. There is definitely a lot of love in this connection, but it's just, yeah, I don't think it's like, it's not going to be your like lifelong partner, I believe. And, in my opinion, at least, it's completely up to you. Even if you think this is about, I was talking about the right person and you just don't want to take, or believe it. It's all up to you. But anyway, we're moving on to pile 2. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the judgment person, this will be your reading. So the first card that came out is the Knight of Swords. And then we had the we had the Magician. And then we had the Five of Swords. So this is someone, I think they are a player. So by the judgment, I am getting someone, it's giving me a little bit of like, prep school jock, mean guy. Maybe just in, physical aesthetic, but like, the energy of the cards a little bit in like the actual personality too. So anyway, your connection, the Nine of Swords. So this is, oh, okay, so I forgot, I did a little bit of like channeling before already about what this is, what the different piles are. So I think that this is someone actually that you have had a little bit of like cycles that you've gone through before, especially with the Judgment card. Judgment is all about, past actions and then judging them for, the future, what, they should have put upon them in the future. And so I think that, especially with the Nine of Swords and then the Magician, I think that if there's someone who's like, they've created a space in your life. And so I think that it's giving me a little bit of like the world, but the world, a little bit opened up, like the circle isn't completely finished. It's like an open-ended circle. And so there's a little gap in it. And that's just the image that I'm intuitively getting. And so I think that there is something about, I think there's something about, it could be an ex. It could also just be sort of someone that you've like known before that you just don't really have like that great of a past with. But it's definitely someone that you've been through cycles or things with before, and so there's someone that you've known, and so you do have history with them, and so they've been in your life for a little while because they've been in your life for long enough to make a sort of impression. And so I don't think that they've probably been making you feel that great. I think that, the Judgment is a very intense card. It's like, it's supposed to be like a very like, it's similar to Justice, but like unlike Justice is like heroic. Judgment is like, doomsday energy for me, honestly, especially this card, it looks very scary a little bit. So I think that it's definitely someone who has not made you feel good. I think that it's someone who's like, they're constantly in this energy. The song Dominoes by Lorde comes to mind. So it's like, someone who just keeps picking things up, putting them down, discarding things, and like just acting like it doesn't even matter, and just, walking about life doing exactly what they want with little to no regard for anything or anyone around them. And that's a little bit the energy that they're giving me. So I think, I'll get how they feel about you, because of course it's all up to you. You can, maybe they change, maybe they become a good person, maybe you want to take them back. We'll see how they feel about you anyway, regardless of how I personally feel about them. Ooh. Okay, so that's like a very active card. So, I mean, they may really... Wow. Oh my god. Oh wow. Okay, so this person is like 100%. They're going to come towards you. Or, oh my god. So, for some reason, I had in my mind, the actions towards you, but actually what I was supposed to be getting was how they feel about you. And so, I mean, I think that they're very much intertwined. And so I think that what they're going to say that they really feel about you is that I think that they're going to really feel like they're going to want you back. And so I think that what they're going to do is they're going to say exactly that. And so they're going to come and they're going to very much like fight very aggressively. I think they're probably going to, try to offer you their emotions. So, I'm like, so in pile 1, there were like a lot of like actual like physical things being brought out into real life, but here it's just, King of Cups, and then 6 of Cups, and then we have like the Star, which is just like, cup full of water, pouring it everywhere. And so I think that it's just very much like immaterial. It's like not a real physical thing that they're bringing you. They're not actually, this person isn't going to like be offering you anything substantial. They're not going to actually like, they're going to have their actions towards you is they're going to just like talk to you and express that they like probably, I don't know, want you back or something. They're going to just like, they're just going to like tell you things. They're going to like just try to reassure you, or they're going to, if they have like sort of a classic thing that they do usually that they try to use to try and get back in your good graces, I think that they're going to use that. Maybe they get you flowers. I think that, yeah, it's definitely going to be something very like emotional and sweet. I think that maybe, they'll tear up a little bit. Definitely. Maybe they'll write you a poem, or recommend you some movies, or like text you really cute, nice things. Just like really pull on your heartstrings and pull out all the stops into making you want to forgive them and want to think that they've changed, but they're going to give you absolutely no like concrete, real physical reason or evidence or like thing that they're going to even attempt to do to actually change. And so there's a lot of energy here. There's a lot of intense energy. And so I think that these cards at the same time are also channeling what their actions are going to be towards you. So I think that they are going to really they're going to express feelings and emotions that they have no intention of like actually fulfilling or translating into any sort of real action. So what are they going to do towards you? They're going to like run back into this like little fantasy childish like dream that they have of just like you maybe like doing everything for them and fulfilling some role in their life, and then they'll I don't know, they have some sort of pattern. Maybe they'll just like leave, find someone else. I think that it very much could be like a restless energy. I don't think that there's someone who really knows exactly what they truly want, or it's like they know what they want, but they also don't know how to want something healthy, so they only know that they want something very unhealthy. Wow. That was very, very quick, I think. But I mean, yeah, this is basically what I have for you. I mean, feel free to take any other piles. This is just someone who's been in your life for a little bit, maybe even if it hasn't been like years, maybe they've only been in your life for like, I don't know, a year or something. I think it's still someone who's like definitely demonstrated cycles and patterns with you, and it's someone who's like demonstrated things to you and they've made you feel upset, and you've had to go through like forgiveness and like closure and everything with them before. They've left your life for periods of times before. They haven't been a consistent part of your life. They haven't been like I don't know, they really haven't like maybe they've been a friend, but they haven't been a very good, consistent friend. They've been very in and out of your life. And so I think they're gonna come back and they're gonna just sort of try to gloss over everything and really try to get back in your good graces and maybe try to, tug at your heartstrings. That phrase is really coming to mind a lot. But they're really just mainly going to be, also a little bit guilt tripping you into, trying to get you to forgive them and look past it. But yeah. And I mean, as far as they know, I think that's also what they think that they want. They think that they very much want to do this because it's like they feel like in the moment that this is physically what they want to do. So like they think like, yeah, it must be because like I actually have feelings for this person. But it's like, no, like I think that they, deep down their actions are just, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same pattern over again because they're not really ever learning anything. They're just sort of hopping from one person to the next, sort of demonstrating the same cycles, the same patterns. I think they probably have a lot of, so this may be a harsh statement, but they may have a lot of people in their life that fulfill a similar role that you do in their life. So they may, they may go through this cycle with you and then like a couple weeks later go through it with someone else, etc., etc. Okay, but pile 2, that is what I have for you. Okay, pile 2, that was your reading. If you like this comment, if you liked this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. But we are now on to pile 3. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the Empress, this will be your pile. So I'm really excited for this one because the Empress went along perfectly with what I remembered these cards were. Yes. So we have the 9 of Cups, and then the 7 of Wands, and then the Page of Cups. So the Empress is number 3, and you guys are pile number 3. So 333 could definitely be a synchronicity for you. Maybe just like around this connection too. So basically, I mean, it seems like, first of all, their energy, they are a very like divinely feminine person. I think that they're probably very, I'm getting that they're very sensual. I think that they like, exploring sensory pleasures. So things like, having cozy nights in, self-care, like baths, hot tubs, pools, and also, eating nicely, and also things, like physical intimacy and such. But yeah, so I think that also they're very soft and emotional also as a person. I think that they're giving me a very kind energy, and the cards that came out too, the energy that it's all giving me is just very kind. So I mean, well, these were swapped. We have the 9 of Cups first. So I'm getting that right now, you guys. I think that you, oh, I know what this one was. I remember this one. Okay. Yeah, so I think that this may be something that's like, someone you're friends with currently. That's the energy it was giving me. So they give me a very kind energy. So it makes sense. I think that you guys are currently friends. I think this is someone that you know and someone that you have known. And so it's someone that you sort of, a little bit feel like you've had this 9 of Cups with, in the past. And 7 of Wands, though, I think that they're feeling a little defensive. They're feeling a little challenged because I think that they do like you. I think that they do have like romantic feelings, for you, and maybe that's maybe you were inquiring about them, but I think that right now you guys are probably mostly just, I think that you guys are friends, or it hasn't crossed any explicit barrier. And my laptop just gave me a little notification when I said that, so we'll see. I don't think that anything actually has happened yet. I am getting, like with the Seven of Wands specifically, I'm getting a very stuck energy. But also like I don't know, like a tide could be turning energy, because I am getting the energy that they really like you. They're very emotional. I don't know. At first I really thought, I think that they are currently in the friend zone. I think that you do probably, this is someone that is, friend zoned currently. Because that was the energy that I was picking up on mostly before. But I mean, the Empress is also, it's an abundant energy, but that's the energy that they're in. So I'm not sure if that's something that you want to reciprocate, and maybe it's different for different people, but I think that, yeah, this is someone that you're currently not in any sort of romantic thing with, but it's someone that is in your life in a friendship way, and I think that they've been a part of your life. I think that they've been a part of your life for a little while. So we'll see about how they feel towards you. Page of Swords. So they're gonna make some, small effort. They're gonna extend some small olive branch. Oh, accompanied with the Knight of Cups, and then the Tower. So it seems like this progression to me honestly is being read as like they try something little at first, and then they try something a little bit more than that, and then they accidentally tip the scales and they don't realize it, and it like kind of explodes. So I think what it probably is I think that this is probably them, spilling their feelings for you. So that's what actions, and that's just their current energy though. Remember that. And Knight of Wands, wow. So we have such consistently like staggering in the same way energy, honestly. Like it's consistently not consistent, but in a consistent way, So Page of Swords, Knight of Cups, the Tower, Knight of Wands. So it feels like, all of these forces are brought together to create the Tower, the Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups, and Page of Swords. But I think that it's, just all sort of this person's energy. I think that they're trying to, they're really trying to put themselves out there and make it happen, by probably just being very forward and direct with you about how they feel. Once again, their actions are getting confused with how they feel, but this is, it's coming at the same time. I say once again because that happened in the last one, the last pile. The Page of Swords, Knight of Cups, the Tower, and Knight of Wands. I think honestly, so let's try to get some cards explicitly about how they feel about you. How do they feel about them? Once again, I'm not really getting energy about, how they actually genuinely feel, and so it could be different for different people. But I think basically it is just that they do like you, but I'm trying to sort of understand if it's like a genuine sort of liking you or not. I'm getting sort of like split mixed energy. But I think that, yeah, it's just the most important thing is, do you like them back? Because, yeah, and so I think that that's also going to be different energy. But I mean, confirmed, this person does, they do like you. They do have intentions of coming towards you and like telling you how they feel. And I think how it's going to happen is they're going to give you a little bit of something. They're going to start to talk about something. Maybe they'll, start to talk about how, maybe just like how important you are as a person to them, and then they'll just sort of like snowball from there and accidentally like spill everything. But I am getting an energy of like sort of starting small and then them accidentally not being able to like keep it in and just releasing it all. Okay, yeah, and then the Two of Wands to end it. So yeah, we had the Six of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Nine of Swords, and then the Two of Wands. Yeah, I think that there's not much to it. I think that you guys just really like each other. I think that you get along. You're good friends. I think that, over time this person's just probably grown like an affinity for you. And if I had to guess, I'd probably guess that this isn't completely reciprocated, romantically, I don't think, but I think it's something where you guys there's just such like dualistic aspects like to this, the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. I think that really you guys can make what you want to happen. So even if you end up deciding you want to stay friends, I think that you can probably move past this energy pretty well and, remain friends. But if you do want to become more than friends, I think that this person is going to probably like accidentally somewhat step towards you, and yeah, but that's at least their intention. They could also, do something like they think that they express it a little clearly, but you don't pick up on it, so there could be some sort of miscommunication like that. But okay, let's see. Wow, that was quick. I mean, a very straightforward message. I'm gonna leave it there though. I'll get one card about, do they actually, for most of them, does this person actually like them? I mean, the thing is, they were all such positive cards. I think the answer is yes, but I think it's just a little bit, I think that maybe it may not be that important why, like, validating why they genuinely do like you. Because I think that you may not feel the same way about them. But okay, so do you feel the same, or do they like you? We got Queen of Swords and the Lovers, so yeah, I think very like literally, yes. I think that the Queen of Swords is like sort of demonstrating that they're gonna try to take control and verbalize it, and then I think the Lovers and the Queen of Swords together is being like, yes, literally, the Lovers, they do feel that way about you. But okay, pile 3, this was your reading. If you liked the reading, please like, comment, subscribe. But now we are on pile 4. Hello, pile 4. If you chose the Magician, this is going to be your reading. Whew, okay, I remember this guy. 5 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, 7 of Cups. So I think it was the 4 of Cups first, actually, and then the 5 of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups. So what I'm getting is this is a player. This is, for me, this is someone who is like a blocked magician energy, or it's like a karmic magician energy. It's someone who feels like they can get everything that they want and can just like, manifest it and do whatever they want with little regard for other people. And I feel like this is someone who, I don't think that you've known them for very long. I think that you've come across them. I think that they were, at some point a cup that was, just randomly being offered to you. But I think that right now the energy is being flipped, and now you're like very intentionally trying to hold up this cup for them, and they're just sort of staring at you and, not really acting on it, because that's sort of not what they do. And so I think that it could be something like, it's someone that you just met out casually and you exchanged numbers and you liked them at first and they were really charismatic. But then, later, there is the 5 Pentacles. So there's an energy of, unreciprocated effort. And then the 7 of Cups. So I feel like this is how the person sees themselves. The 7 of Cups, the magician, they see themselves as like someone who can just, get literally anything, so why not get anything, so I think that they're the type of person to not want to be bogged down by like one or even multiple like steady loyal connections, because they're like, I could just not do that. I could just hop from like multiple people forever and that can be fine, and I can just have, that power and control over people and that like appeal. And so I think that that's kind of their mindset, which is a little like, yeah, so take what resonates. Like, this pile may not be for everyone, but I think for who it really does resonate for, yeah, this is someone who, they definitely have no intention of being in your life long term. Yeah. And I think that it's someone who definitely seemed very charismatic at first, seemed like they were, like the magician creation, they seem like someone who can like, make anything happen. They probably seem very like adept. They seem probably very good at things, very like quick, very bright, very intelligent, able to pick up on things very quickly, probably very witty, maybe like have some really nice smile, something like that. But, 4 of Cups, I think that you are really trying to put yourself out there and extend yourself to them, and just in general give them energy that they're not going to give back. It could even start out small, like you're the one who's doing all the planning, or you're the one who's doing all the texting, or it could be like they text you first, but it's always, eventually it changes to them pulling back, and then you give all the effort. There's something about unequal energy at some point being like a very big indicator and red flag of this person being the, the player that I'm describing them to be. So yeah, that's pretty intense. Someone that you just recently met, I think, though. This is definitely someone whose energy you're able to be deceived by, because you just simply don't know them, so they're able to come off. And I think that you know them in a very shallow sense. It's also giving me a little bit of like dating app vibe, they seem very nice and cool and down to earth, but they're actually just a little manipulative, and you have literally no idea until you get to know them better, or until you like actually try to get to know them better and then are, barred from emotionally accessing their life. But okay, let's see if they actually like you though, because the thing is, regardless of if we should or intend to pursue anything with these people, it can be fun to know how they feel. That's the truth. It can be, possibly, for some people, if not for everyone, just for some people. Terrible, terrible job. how do they feel? How do they feel towards pile 4? Ooh, those cards just like, wow, this is interesting. Interesting. So honestly, what I'm getting, guys, is I think that they do like you somewhat, you know, like 9 of Pentacles. I think what this is they probably like you more than they've liked most people, because we have the 9 of Pentacles and then the 8 of Pentacles right next to it. And so it's counting down. And so that always sort of seems like something sort of like intense and imminent. And so I think that it could possibly be the sense that, you know, this is definitely a little bit of like a karmic connection for you, but I think it's very much a karmic connection for them, because it's really going to get them, they're going to realize, I guess they're going to realize that they're not able to get everything that they want and that they value also. So it's not even that this is something like just silly and little that they want just for like a power grab, but it's something that they actually actively, you know, think is important to have. But then, you know, I think that you do probably end up leaving them, or you guys end up breaking off, because, you know, this 5 of Pentacles is just undeniable, being sandwiched by the 4 of Cups and 7 of Cups. But the 8 of Pentacles is like hard work energy, you know, they're just still, you know, they're in the 9 of Pentacles, they have their self-sufficient, you know, bag, but then, you know, the 8 of Pentacles, they're looking down, they're like, I have all of this, but, you know, somehow, like, I don't know, I'm putting in a lot of hard work without a lot of emotional fulfillment. And so then there's the Death and the Star. And so I think that you probably, you know, fulfill some sort of like ideal for them. I think that maybe you have a very sweet energy potentially, or just like a very endearing energy, or an energy that they really value and appreciate and adore. And I think that they're very, I think that, you know, after this connection inevitably ends, because it will, I'm telling you that now, the Death card, it inevitably ends. It must. This is heavily karmic. But after it ends, I think that they're very, like, deeply upset and distraught that they were not sort of someone who is worthy of holding on to your energy. And I think it is going to be hard, because I think there is like a charismatic part of them. There's a likable side of them, definitely, for sure. But I think that there's just really their energy is just so deeply not wanting to commit anywhere. It is, and I don't think that they understand the extent to which it is that way. But they definitely do have, you know, deep respect for you, and I'd say longing, or some weird something between like lust, longing, yearning. You know, they want you, but not in like a power way, I feel like. Alright, now we're going to see what their actions towards you are, though, because they're not as clear. In the other piles, some of the other piles, the actions and the feelings were very intertwined, but in this one, not at all. Knight of Wands, so I think that they are going to pursue you sexually, or just like very casually. Yes, very, very, very casually, you know, Knight of Wands and then 3 of Wands. This is giving me the energy that it's like there's just a third energy. It's just you guys having sex, basically. It's not you and then them and then sex. It's just the third energy, basically. And then 10 of Swords. So I think that it's going to very much it's gonna exhaust them, and I think that they're going to, I don't know. Hold on, let's get the last card. Ooh, okay, so I think that maybe something weird's gonna happen. I think that potentially, like, in a moment of desperation, maybe it's like they try to come on to you and you reject them, or, it's just something like, something happens where even if you don't reject them, if you like accept them, it's something like they show like some sort of weird moment of vulnerability and weakness, because it's like the 9 of Cups is coming out here for right after the 10 of Swords, and it's making me feel like there's like some card that's meant to be like in between right here. So I'm actually going to pull another card for that. And it's the Sun. That's so weird. So yeah, it's like they really do, like this is like what they're trying to get. This is what they're trying to, it's what they're trying to like look for in you, but it's like a very convoluted, blocked Sun. They're not able to see it. It's like the card that, it was the card that, I just felt like was supposed to be there. There wasn't even, a placement. I didn't even think that there was going to be a card placed there, but then I just, felt that, and it was so deeply hidden. So I think that this definitely is, it's going to be something like they make some sort of very shallow effort towards you, and then some sort of like also shallow, but like a little bit more of a desperate effort towards you. So either you reject them at first or you accept them, but there's something that happens that makes them feel maybe like possibly really weak or insecure or vulnerable. I don't know, but some sort of like a moment of, weakness, I want to say. And so it could be them doing something like saying that they really like you, or them like, I don't know, like crying maybe, or them just, and if they say that they really like you, I don't really necessarily think that they'll mean it in like a meaningful romantic way. I think it would be like more of a I codependently need you sort of thing. This is very complex. This person's going through cycles, and you definitely, or I think, yeah, this person was repeating cycles, and you sort of were like the roadblock to them, causing them not being able to continue that cycle. Very interesting. So yeah, this is someone who, they probably have a flighty energy in your life currently. Maybe someone that was very charismatic and someone you were really drawn to at first, but someone that you have an unequal energy exchange with currently. I think that you probably give more into the connection than they do. I think that you reach out and try to hang out with them more than they do. This is someone you just recently met in a very casual situation. It's someone who wants a lot of options and has a lot of options and knows that they have a lot of options and really likes the power in having those options. And now they see you and they really want you because they see you as like a, getting almost like a cute little innocent flower energy. And so they really, they're really drawn to that in like a very, a not healthy way, I want to say. And so they're going to come towards you, and their feeling towards you are that you're something that they don't have, that they haven't had before, a sort of, pure type person, innocent type person. So they're going to come towards you, and I am honestly getting mostly that you guys are probably going to reject them or not accept them in the way exactly that they want you to, so even if it is you flirting back with them, maybe it's sort of like a teasing sort of flirt where they don't feel like they're, so on top of the world and on, so high and mighty, but it's more of like you leveling with them and you trying to knock down their confidence a little bit to get them to stop being so cocky. So, yeah, and then, the Three of Wands, I think that they're gonna definitely try to make a move on you, and I think that something's gonna go awry in some way. Yeah. And they're gonna just, I don't know, they're gonna make some sort of desperate move. They're gonna be like, or they could like say something really like mean out of spite or something. It's just gonna be, it's gonna be chaotic a little bit. But it's gonna be something where they're gonna, they're gonna do it, and they're gonna, I think, like, feel, this is the person, like, for me, this is the person I meant to pursue right now. But, I think that even they know that they don't have any intention of keeping you. It's just that they know that they want to, experience you. So this is oh gosh, this is very singular energy. Take what resonates, absolutely. If you feel drawn to another pile, feel free to go to that pile instead, or in addition to. But yeah, so I think this is all that I have for you. Pile 4. Wow, that was very interesting. Alright, pile 4, if you liked this reading, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. And I will go to pile number 5. Hey pile 5, welcome to your reading. This will be about how this person feels about you. So the card that they have is the Devil. So this is a pretty intense card too, if you look at it. I don't think I've seen a Devil card in a tarot deck look exactly like this before, but so yeah, definitely an intense energy. Sometimes the Devil can just give it's not always like the devil, so it sounds pretty evil, but it's not always that energy. It's like I think it's Capricorn that runs this card, so I think a lot of the time it's, just like very intense, work ethic, someone who's sort of like out to get their bag, maybe not without too much regard for human emotions. But anyway, so we have the cards that came out for the energy of, your current connection. So how this Devil person, who are they in your life right now? So I can tell already that there's someone, as I said, I think that they're probably maybe not even, monetary goods or material gain, but I think that they're just someone who's like out to get things or out to experience things. And maybe that's where the Devil energy is coming from. I think that they like to experience things and go on adventures, and maybe they're not like the most loyal person because of that. I think that their number one loyalty is probably to themselves, and so I think that they're in this life looking for adventure and experience and things to get out of it. And I don't think that they're going to really be in a place of wanting to share those experiences with other people genuinely. They may be like thrill seekers, try to go out and befriend people who are a similar way and like go have fun adventures with them. But then, I don't think that they would actually, be there for those people in a real sort of friendship way. I think that they're just sort of there for the experiences and the things that they can latch on to. But, alright, so about this person's energy in your life currently, so we have the Two of Pentacles. So the first cards that came out were Two of Pentacles and then the Eight of Cups and Death. So that's interesting because Death always gives me a similar energy to the Devil. So Two of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, Death, and then we have Knight of Swords and Judgment. And so currently their energy in your life is they are in your life. I think that you're, talking to them. Probably not a strong energy in your life. I think this is probably someone that you have some experience with. I think there's someone that's been in your life for a little while. You've just been exposed to their energy for a little bit, a moderate amount of time. I don't think that there's someone you've literally just stumbled across, but I mean, maybe it is, or maybe it's someone that you stumbled across a little bit ago, but now you're just first starting to really go through the cycles of like getting to know them. And so I can tell that what's happening is I think that this person is I think that they probably, maybe they're trying to seek out these experiences with you, and so I think that they're trying to, this card is always like trips me up. This is like a very intense card for me. It gives me almost like, stranded on an island vibes. That's the energy that it's giving me. A little bit of like one of the TV shows where like just like teens get stuck on an island and have to like fight to survive or something, like one of those like fictional dramas. So I think that that's really the energy that they're giving me. So I think that it could be something like, I mentioned that they could be a thrill seeker, or just someone generally who wants experiences. This could even be like something like sexual experience. And I think that they're trying to pursue it with you. And so I think that they are sort of juggling like this thing. I think that they don't really want to, they don't want to get themselves wrapped up into anything like, any sort of commitments with anyone. So they're sort of like, juggling those those two ideas. They want to, they want to experience something with you. I think that they sort of like see some untapped potential in you, or they see it almost as like a quest for them to conquer, or like, not that you're a quest, but like they see you as being someone that they can go out and do something with, so maybe it's something like some sort of like, sexual freedom or sexual liberation, and you guys sort of have very intense sexual chemistry, and they recognize that, and they kind of want to explore that with you, but they also don't want to get into anything serious with you because they know that they know that they're not that type of person. They do not want that. I don't think that they're anyone looking for commitment right now. I think that really they're focused on their own insular energy. I think that they're focused on like loyalty to themselves above all right now. And I'm not getting them like as being like, it's a selfish energy. It's a little bit of a narcissistic energy, but it's not like a terrible energy. I don't think that they're, they know that they're looking out for themselves. I don't think that they're going to try to manipulate you and try to come across as anything different. I think they're going to be very straightforward about their energy. And maybe that's a little bit like what you're having trouble with now. Maybe it's that you're having trouble with accepting the energy that they so obviously are telling you they have. Maybe they're very obviously showing you that their number one loyalty is to themselves and they have no interest in commitments, but you're not really wanting to see that. But it may not even be something like, sexual. I think that also it could just be, maybe it's like, drugs coming to mind. Maybe it's something like this person really is trying to go out and party, and you have connections to like a party scene, and they just really want to get in on that, and they want to, party with you, but they don't want to actually like fall into any sort of like friendship or, relationship connection with you. So I think that's their current energy in your life. I think currently they're trying to spend time with you, but because they're trying to get something out of spending time with you, I think that they want to, I am deeply getting it's some sort of, the devil is some like, addictive, obsession sort of tendencies. So I am getting, it is sort of something a little bit like an addiction, the thing that they're like craving in you. So I'm seeing it's something probably like sex, or something like drugs or partying, or, maybe, adrenaline junkie that's coming to mind too. So maybe it's something like, you know, you and your friends are gonna go skydive, and then this person like tries to jump in and do it with you guys, and maybe you take that as being like, oh, they're trying to spend time with me, they like me, but I think that it's mostly just them wanting to experience something that you allow them potentially to experience. So I think that's their current energy in your life. This is someone you know, someone you've been exposed to, but someone you don't know that well. And it's someone who seems like they're putting in the effort probably to get to know you better, but it's actually they're just putting in the effort to get to spend time with you so that they can do things by association. So I don't think that they're actually like putting an effort to spend time with you for the sake of spending time with you. They're putting an effort to be able to gain things from that effort. So they're trying to, you know, get in with you and your crew so they can have fun. So let's see about whether they actually like you or their feelings towards you. Pile 5. What is pile 5's actual feelings towards you? Let's see. These cards came out a little too quickly. Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay, but let's go see. How do they feel about you? How does pile 5's person feel about them? How does the devil feel about them? Oh, interesting. So 3 of Wands, yeah, they definitely want to go out. They want to do something with you. They want to create this, they want to experience something with you. So it really could be something sexual because that's the energy that card is giving me now. You know, so maybe, you know, something also that's coming to mind is, you know, maybe you guys are into specific sort of like kinks or fetishes, and they're just sort of wanting to, maybe they haven't met many people who are into that, and so they're sort of wanting to experience that with you. But I think that this is someone you've met, but I don't think it's explicitly really in a romantic way that you met them, but I think that you guys had very obvious sort of, like, I want to say like sexual chemistry, or it may not even be sexual chemistry, but some sort of like karmic chemistry, you know, like some sort of, I think that you guys both sort of are seeking out similar sort of like thrills or like addictive things, you know, the same sort of a little bit like vices. That's the word I'm looking for. I think you guys have like very similar vices, and I think that's sort of what connects you guys. So let's see, how do they feel about you? So I mean, they like you, but they just, it's I'm not getting that it's, you know, any sort of romantic love, but I also don't think that they're not really in the place to like feel any sort of romantic love and identify it as such. Oh my god, we have the devil again. Okay, yeah, so how do they feel about you? They're obsessed with you, but because of like what you can do for them. Let's see what else. How else do they feel about you? So we've been having some like interestingly like good cards flip out, like the Page of Cups and then the 10 of Cups kept wanting to flip out. And so it was interesting that I said that thing about not being able to identify if they romantically like someone. So I think that this could be the case where I think that you guys do have some sort of like connection to each other, but I think that this person is just so deeply like romantic connections are not on their mind whatsoever. I think that they're so obsessed with their own energy, and they have like a lot of probably abandonment issues, trust issues, just a lot of like unhealed energy surrounding them. And I think that it's sort of causing them to seek out a lot of these like vices to sort of, you know, escape and take their mind off of, you know, the negative energy and the like unhealed trauma that they have. And so I think that it could be something like maybe they feel drawn to you for not, it could be that they feel drawn to you on a soul level, but that the only thing that they consciously want to do with you is experience whatever this like addictive vice is. So I think that they could have like some sort of genuine like soul connection to you, or some sort of like, you know, it's almost giving me the hint of like, you know, like the Grinch, you know, he had like a real tiny heart in there after all. That's almost like the energy that it's giving me. It's like this person who's like the devil, but they actually do have like a little real heart inside of them, and that real little heart is like, you know, very drawn to you. But I mean, the overall energy is that this person is very much not, unlike the Grinch, they're not able to actually like, you know, sit in that little heart and make it bigger and expand it. I think they're going to just ignore it. The Star, yeah, so they are going to just ignore it. I think that they're going to focus on whatever brings them this sort of like euphoric, dreamy vice energy. They're going to I think that their life is probably just very heavy for them, and I think that they want to just experience a lot of like lighthearted, fun things. I think they do have like probably a lot of intense energy that hangs around them, probably from their past, and I think that they've taken themselves out of those heavy energies, like contextually, but they still kind of linger in their energy field. And so I think that they're really just their energy is very focused on like hedonism, you know, like experiencing very nice, pleasurable things without experiencing anything negative, which is never a good energy to be in, because that's not natural in life. Life is, you know, ups and downs of, you know, good things and bad things, so that you can sort of appreciate the good things. But I think this person is very much trying to make their life something that is only like pleasurable and fun, and I think that it's causing them a lot of, you know, a lot of dissociation. This card is giving me a lot of dissociation. I feel like they're not very grounded in themselves and their energy. They definitely like you. They like you, but they have... They like you for like the dream of what you can offer them, and like the vice, the fulfillment of the vice that you can offer them. And they're drawn to you like the Star card. They're almost like the North Star. They're drawn to you for like a different, separate reason, but that reason is just overshadowed by, you know, their karmic desires. Let's see, what else? How do they feel? Queen of Cups. So I think that they do feel I think that they feel like they're able to be a little vulnerable with you. I think that they feel like they're able to be safe in your presence. I think that you're probably a very like non-threatening type of person to them. And so I think that they very much, they appreciate it, but also I think it's going to cause them to a little bit take you for granted. I mean, I can tell already their energy, like they're the type of person, they just want to exploit the people in their life, basically. Like they're just there to milk things out of the people around them for their own personal gain. And I think that they feel very safe doing that with you. I think that you have a very like calm, nurturing presence. And so, like, this card is honestly it's telling me that this is how they feel about you, and it's how they almost, like, maybe romanticize that they feel about you as well. Or, you know, I think it's something like, I think they romanticize themselves in their brain. So I think that they, you know, they're like, oh, I'm here just wanting to experience the good things in life, but it's because I have this rough past, and, you know, I'm not screwing anyone over. I'm just here to, you know, have a good time, and this is someone I can truly have a good time with, and we can just like have fun together. And so I think in their head, they're romanticizing your connection. They're, you know, making it seem like they're not screwing you over nearly as much as they truly know that they are, or that they actually are. But yeah, so they do feel some sort of affinity towards you, but any sort of like genuine interest they have in you is vastly overshadowed by, you know, whatever vice they want to get out of this connection. So let's look now at their actions. What are they going to do? Because I didn't get too many actions towards this, because it's a little split. They could do, I'm getting that they consciously sort of know that they definitely consciously know they're not going to pursue anything with you, but I think that they do definitely want to like pursue whatever this vice thing is. But let's see if they do extend any sort of like romantic offering towards you, because I am getting for a lot of people, this vice that they want to experience with you is something like sexual. And so I think that it could be a very confusing energy, because I think it could almost come across like they're like truly pursuing you. So let's see. Yeah, so I think that it's gonna be something very like laissez-faire. So they're gonna pine after you, but they're not gonna pine too hard, you know. They're gonna go after you. They're gonna make it clear what they want and what they're interested in and what they're looking for, and they're gonna go after that and look for that with you. But they're not gonna like obsessively cling to you or cling to that energy. They're not gonna try to they're very aware of how they come across, and so they're not going to like obsessively like berate you and like, can I come with you? Can I come with you? Can I come with you? Are you free? Are you free? Are you free? But they're gonna just like very casually, a little aloof, cool guy syndrome. That's what it's giving me a little bit. So, they're gonna be like, hey, I was just walking by your neighborhood and I was like, I wonder if they're free right now. Are you free? Something like a lot more casual, something like that. But they're gonna offer you something, but they're definitely not, in their eyes, they're not gonna be offering you anything that's like an actual romantic relationship offer or anything. They're gonna try to hang out with you, spend time with you, try to, get in on this vice. They're gonna try to experience something with you. Be like, hey, are you guys, I know you and your crew like to, go surfing or skydiving or paintballing. Are you guys going anytime soon? You think I could come next time? Something like that. And maybe it's that you're reading it as something like them actually coming towards you like romantically, but yeah, I don't think that that's their intention. And then we have the Lovers card, so I think that it's going to be some sort of like mixed signals. I think it's going to be, and I think that they would sort of deny it if you confronted them about sending you mixed signals. I think they'd be like, no, where was I ever like implying that I wanted anything more? I only ever, expressed interest in, hanging out with you or having sex with you. I never expressed any interest in actually like having a relationship with you. So I think because the Lovers is the choice card, but it's also the Lovers card. So it's like, yeah, they're making, making the choice, to hang out with you, and they're like actually they're putting action into that, but they're not really making the choice to like love you or extend any sort of like real emotional offering. They're just sort of making the choice to hang out with you and explore something with you. So they're gonna be taking actions towards you, and you're probably they're gonna try to hang out with you, spend time with you, and I think that it's gonna confuse you. Yeah, it's gonna confuse you and make you feel like they're gonna actually want to spend time with you and like get to know you on a deeper level. Like maybe you think, oh, they're just asking me if we're going paintballing because they're actually just trying to get close to me. But I don't think that's the truth. I think that's what the truth is that they actually are just like, trying to pick up the sword that they want to pick up. This guy is giving me like look, I finally found this sword. But then also it's like, this is the energy of you, where you are like, look, I found it. This person, they're extending an offering. They're trying to come hang out with me. But like in reality, it's like, yeah, they're trying to come hang out with you, but because, they just want to get things out of hanging out with you. And so I think that this is both your energy and their energy. So they feel like they're the one that like got the sword. They're like, yes, I get to hang out with them. I get to do this thing. I get to like milk this experience out of them. But then you also feel this way but then, they're leaving you out in the cold. And then you also feel this way because you don't realize that, they're leaving you out in the cold. But then, eventually you do. So let's see, what else? Ooh, yeah. Oh my gosh. So Ace of Cups and then also the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, so it's something confusing, like, they offer you something and and maybe they even do it in like a really flirty way, like maybe, especially if it is something like sex, they're like, hey, like, you free right now? Like, you want to come over? Like, what are you doing? And you're like, oh my gosh, they like me. They're trying to get to know me. They want to spend time with me. But then, like, immediately afterwards, it's like an energy of they get what they get from you and then they sort of like leave and they go off somewhere else. I think that also because they do feel a little bit of some sort of like actual interest or like connection, or they're drawn to you somewhat, I think that it makes them a little bit eager to like experience your energy and then leave. So I think that, because they can detect something like a little bit, a genuine interest in you, they want to really just, get the vice with you and then leave so that, this little heart doesn't have any room to grow into something like real that they have to deal with, because I don't think that they want to deal with their traumas or anything. So who's this person? This person is someone in your energy field that you know for a little bit. You don't know them too well, but someone that you definitely have a lot of like sexual or karmic connection or chemistry with. So it's someone that maybe if you have a type that's a little bit like your like bad type, it's going to be, they're that type of person. And so it's going to be someone that you would definitely have an interest with, someone that's going to try to, hang out with you, get in on, the fun things you're doing, sex, drugs, partying, adventures, whatever, trips. And you're going to take that as them being interested in you, but they really don't have any interest in any sort of connection. I think that if they, are into any sort of like romantics, I think it would be strictly sexual connections. They're not interested in anything like emotionally fulfilling or emotionally long term. Okay, so pile 5, that is what I have for you. If you liked this reading, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. But now we are going on to pile 6. Hello, pile 6. If you chose Temperance, this will be your pile. So let's see, your person is Temperance. That's always a very nice energy to be in. Oh, but then I remember this. This is so confusing. So this group is very confusing. So this person is Temperance, but the cards that I drew first, before I drew these cards about like who they are, or their personality, or their characteristics, or their character, I drew these cards about like their current energy in their life. So Pan, which is the devil, or no, it's not. It is the devil. Yeah, it is the devil. And then the High Priestess. And then Then we have the Ace of Swords and the Sun. And so I think if I remember correctly, I think this is someone that you just met, someone that you have a lot of energy with, someone that a lot is hidden from you. I am blanking. Like, I remember this. I remember the sun coming out. And I think, I don't know if I, made this message in a real group. I did. Okay. So this message came through in another group. I forget which pile it was, but I had 2 cards here, and then I felt 2 cards on either side, and I felt like there was a card missing in the center. And the card that was missing, that was linking the 2 cards together, was the sun. And then I saw these cards, and then I also saw the sun, and I got confused, and I thought, was I delivering that message like for this group? Was this the sun also? Here in the middle, connecting these energies. And I think it is the same message, because this group very much confused me when I first came across this energy, because it's the devil and then the high priestess. And so the high priestess is like a really beautiful card for me. The devil is a little bit more, taxing of a card. It's, not the most obviously wonderful card. But this devil has a nicer energy to them. I know that there's like a devil card in another deck that has a very intense energy, and so it's not always able to be read lightly or in a good light or positive light. But this one, I think that this is demonstrating that this is just someone that you do not know very well. This is someone that you've really just recently come across, and so you don't really understand their energy in your life either. But good thing for you to know is that they are the Temperance, and so, especially because the High Priestess and Pan, or the Devil, coming out, their connection in your life right now, it's like, this doesn't really seem like a very tempered, balanced energy. But then Temperance is telling me that they are, so even if they do have a little bit of a current, like, chaotic place in your life, I think that they are like a very balanced, calm, peaceful, just person. This is also giving me like justice energy. But so I'm thinking that this is a person that you just met. This is a person that you just recently met, and they do appear like this. They do appear like the sun, but this is a very intense sun. So I think that they appear the way that you see them. I think it's something like you're exposed to their energy in a group setting. I think that, yeah, you get to see their energy, feel it out. I think that you're really drawn to them, but I think in almost like a way that a little bit worries you, or in a way that confuses you, because I think very much how these cards presented initially was a little bit of like a karmic attraction, especially with the devil. And so it's something like, you see them, you're interested in them, you're attracted to them, but you don't really get to know them very well. And so I think it's something like, they could be a friend of a friend, or maybe you just meet them out and about naturally, and you're like, both the friend groups that you guys are with just sort of like merge. It's some sort of like social situation, though, some sort of situation where you can like really, you can get a feel for who they are as a person, but it is still just like a first initial meeting. You don't know this person, so you see how they act, but I don't really know if you trust it. So, you see how they act, you see that they're pretty cool, you're like, oh, they're funny, they get along with people like them, they don't seem like they're someone who's like an outgoing, extroverted center of attention, but they seem like someone who's just sort of naturally has the attention drawn to them, because they seem pretty even-keeled, pretty tempered, pretty interesting, funny. I think that they have like, witty remarks. I think that they, probably speak very eloquently. I'm getting a lot of air energy, but a lot of also hidden fire energy. So I think that maybe, at first glance, they have you know, their aura is a little fiery, warm also, but then, you know, how they conduct themselves in life is it's a little bit earthy, a little bit airy, because, you know, they sit back a little bit and they talk and they conduct themselves, and their presence is known, but then also they feed into that presence a little bit. So other people feel their energy, but also they'll offer a little bit, you know, they'll speak, they'll make comments, they'll offer a little bit of energy to like confirm that everyone does have the right idea of them. So a very interesting person. The Sun and the Ace of Swords. So yeah, this is someone who you may have had a conversation with, but like not many conversations. And it definitely, I don't think it got that deep. I think that it just got, it was just enough of a conversation for you to understand that you get on with them and you get along with them, and you're interested in them. But I think this is really someone that you do not know. Yeah, but someone that you've just come across recently, and you do have a strong interest and pull towards them. But something that you think is probably, I'm getting the idea that you feel like it could be karmic. Just because you don't know them very well, and you do have like an initial sort of attraction and you're drawn to them initially. But let's see, how do they feel? How does this person feel towards pile 6? This could even be something like, you know, a coworker, but I'm still getting that like how you meet them is sort of in a social setting. So I think that it could be a coworker, but you know, the way you meet this coworker is like you guys are like hanging out with other coworkers and they introduce you and you guys are like talking and socializing about your job and everything. But I'm honestly getting that it's probably not so much of a coworker, just because I'm not getting a lot of that context. I mean, it could be like a coworker, but a coworker who eventually like, you know, melts into your friend group. Maybe you have a group of work friends and it's a coworker who sort of like soon infiltrates that group of work friends. But let's see how do they feel? How does pile 6's person feel towards them? Oh my gosh, we have the Sun again. So let's see. So I think this is the first card that came out. Oh wow, so 5 of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. So how do they feel towards you? 5 of Pentacles, the Sun, the 4 of Cups. So there is some sort of interesting feeling of like I can't pursue them or something. I'll get one more card. Let's see. There's some sort of, I don't think this is the energy of like them wanting to leave you out in the cold, but I think it's like an energy of like they feel like the circumstances are just going to inevitably lead you guys out in the cold. So let's see, how do they feel about them? The Star, interesting. So I think what I'm getting is that I think that they have some how they feel about you, they're a little scared. So I think that they definitely have positive feelings towards you. Look, we have the Sun and we have the Star. They have positive feelings towards you, but what they're scared about is they're scared that these feelings are sort of you know, overriding their logic. So I think that they have a past, definitely. They have past experiences being left out in the cold. I think that they're also probably very drawn to you in a similar way that you are drawn to them. And I think that they have similar sort of reservations as you do about this being, you know, not the healthiest sort of connection. And so I think how they feel about you is they feel like there's potential there. They feel like they could see the sun, they could see the stars, you know, which is, it's like the sun and star, it's like a beautiful imagery, because it's like in the daytime they can see the potential of this sun, but then even, you know, in the nighttime they could also see the potential of these stars. But it's also an energy of like a really not trusting that, because it's almost like a little too good. And so I think that there is an energy of you guys really don't know each other so much, but there is still like such like energy and attraction towards each other, or just there must be some sort of soul contract here, most definitely, or some sort of past lives experience. I think that this person is probably definitely someone you've known in a past life, or you're part of the same soul family. So I think that you guys sort of recognize each other very quickly, and I think that you guys sort of assume that instant attraction is something sort of karmic. But I don't think that it is. I think that you guys are both just very worried about that. And so I'm seeing with the Five of Pentacles, so how do they feel about you? They feel drawn to you. They feel drawn to you, but they also feel like they're getting misled. So, the star reminds me of the North Star. So it feels like, they're following you, they're being drawn to you, but also they don't really know where they're being drawn to. And they're a little skeptical about that. And I think that they're very eager to be in this Four of Cups energy, where they're very eager to be like, oh yeah, let me look inside this cup. Oh no, that's definitely karmic. Let me pour it out. So they really want to sort of be able to understand this relationship. I think that it really confuses them, and so I think that they're eager to get to know you, to sort of be able to identify whether or not they really do feel like they'll feel like this Five of Pentacles eventually, because right now I think that they're feeling hopeful, but they're feeling a little bit hopeless because of how hopeful they feel. So I don't think that they really trust their hope. I think that they assume they have on rose-colored glasses, and I think that they assume that they're just being a little naive to this situation. And so I think that they're really worried about this Five of Pentacles and this Four of Cups. I think that they're how they feel towards you is they feel like you could just be a little, it's either that they feel like how they assume you are isn't actually how you are, or they assume that how you present yourself is not actually how you are. So it's either, I'm thinking it's either that they assume that they have on rose-colored glasses, or they assume you're deceiving them on purpose. But I don't think it's so much the second one. I think it's more so that they don't really trust themselves. So I think that they think, oh, I'm just misinterpreting this person's energy, And so it's something like they're drawn to you, but they think it's karmic, and so they don't trust them being drawn to you, especially with the star, because that's such a dreamy energy. And so I think that you guys are just both very drawn to each other very quickly, and so it's a little confusing because you don't really know each other. And I think this person definitely has a past where they've trusted people who sort of screwed them over, and so I think that it's making them wary of trusting someone with absolutely, they don't know you. So right now they have absolutely no reason to trust you, but they're so drawn to you anyway. But let's see their actions towards you, because I think that's going to give us also a little, oops, that was weird. I just accidentally threw these cards all over. Weird. But I can't believe that we got the Sun twice. So I mean, there's definitely some aspect of them. I mean, they like you. They really do. They're really drawn to you. They see your energy. I think that they like how you conduct yourself around people. They like how you conduct yourself in that social situation. This energy is really just giving me it's giving me love at first sight, honestly. But it's giving me two people who are deeply skeptical and cynical a little bit about that. And maybe it's, maybe you're not even so cynical or skeptical, but I think it's just, even for the people who believe in love at first sight, I feel like it must be kind of crazy to feel like, oh yes, I just experienced this. Because it's one thing to believe in it, it's another thing to believe that you did experience it yourself. And so I think that it's going to be a little bit, you guys are both dreamers, romantic people, but I don't know if you guys have experience with other people who are that way, and so I think that you guys are both pretty similar, and so I think that it's almost sort of repelling each other because of how similar you are. It's like a can I trust this energy? I'm the only person that I know who genuinely has this energy. Can I trust someone else having this energy? So let's see, what are their actions going to be towards you? What are their actions going to be towards pile 6? I mean, with the Temperance energy, I don't know if they're gonna, I don't know if they're really gonna, you know, go out and do anything forthright or do anything very aggressive or, you know, obvious. Definitely not. This is both, the energy that you're both giving me is very much like you're sitting back and you're letting the intensity wash over you. I don't think that you guys are like, the intensity of this connection wash over you. I don't think that either of you guys are really like going out and talking to the other, and like, it's giving me, you know, you guys walk into a room, you guys are exposed to each other's energy, you catch each other's eyes, you watch each other a little like low key as you interact with your friends. You guys are really drawn to each other. Eventually you guys have your own conversation, it goes really well. You guys are really, really drawn to each other after that, and then you guys leave. You have a little bit of time to think about it, and you guys are both like, huh, like, that was weird. I'm really intensely drawn to this person. That's never happened before unless someone who I had like a really strong karmic connection with. So, oh my gosh, but their actions towards you, 8 of Wands. So I think that they're really going to, I think that they're going to try to extend some sort of, you know, olive branch. I think that they're going to try to like hang out with you or be in your energy, and experience your energy to try and get a better handle on like if they really sussed you out accurately the first time. I don't think it's going to be in like a romantic way, even though there are definitely a lot of mutual romantic feelings here, but I think it's going to be mostly in just they really are eager to learn about your energy. But again, they do have a Temperance energy to them, so I don't think that they're going to do anything like, you know, crazy, but I think it's going to be something like hey, like a small offering, like do you want to hang out? Or, you know, you mentioned you really liked like this bookstore. Would you want to go there with me sometime? So their actions towards you, it's going to be, I feel like this is going to be like sort of how you feel. I think that it's going to be like you're going to be a little excited that they offer you a little bit of something, but also it's going to be, I don't know, you guys are both going to just have your like doubts or second guessings about the others. So you're going to be like, oh, they invited me to do this, like they must like me, they must have genuine feelings for me. But then it's like eventually you double think and you're like, actually they only asked me to go do this, and that's not like an overly romantic thing to do. Maybe they're really just trying to like, you know, exploit me or get something out of me, or maybe they're, you know, just trying to friend zone me, or they don't have a really interest in me. But I think that it is, you know, they're trying to both, you know, do something and move towards you and understand and suss out your energy and get to know you better, while also, you know, not investing so much in you and being very balanced and tempered. So their actions towards pile 6. Knight of Cups, yeah, so they're just gonna offer you something little. It's gonna be a small act. It's gonna be, you know, can you get coffee? Do you wanna go to a bookstore? Do you wanna go on a walk? Or like, you know, I know you love dogs, you wanna go to the dog park with me? Or something like that. Something small, and I think it is gonna be something, I think it's either going to be something one-on-one or something in a small group of people. Definitely a smaller group of people than you were in before, because I think the energy of you guys initially meeting, I think that you guys were, you know, a bigger group of people, so you guys were really able to observe the other person socializing. But I think that this is going to be, they're going to offer you, you know, a chance to hang out with them on a more intimate setting so that you guys can get to know each other better. So what else? Their actions towards each other. And I think that it's going to be, you know, it may be an energy of like they soon after meeting you, they offer you this, you know, they extend this invitation to you. But I think that it may take a little bit before you guys actually like hang out together. So I mean, it could be something like they don't want like to lose the momentum of just meeting. So like maybe a day or two after they meet you, they extend an invitation, but then the invitation isn't for something that's for like another week or two. So I mean, it could be something like that also. But then we have the Two of Swords. So I think definitely they have intentions behind this invitation that you do not think that they do. And they're positive intentions. They're like sweet romantic intentions, because they do have, you know, how they felt about you. They do, feel like the sun, but they're just also, they're very worried about like sort of pursuing the wrong people. And so I think that they're going to try to pursue you. They're going to try to explore this connection further, but they're going to try to do it in a very even tempered way. But they're definitely going to, they're going to take enough charge, to go out and pursue you themselves, but it really probably will be in a platonic way, because they are the Temperance energy. They are the Temperance energy, which makes it very interesting that they are also willing to put in so much action and effort. But that is what makes me feel like they're going to put in platonic action and effort. And so they're going to put in effort towards just sort of like getting to know you on like a person level. And then later on, they'll allow that to evolve into something more, with time. But I think it's very much of like a first, you guys need to make sure that this person, you guys both mutually need to make sure that this other person is who you think they are, because you really like and appreciate and are into the person that you think that the other person is. But, you just don't really know to trust it or not. And I think that, this person's going to extend some invitation. You guys are going to gradually get to know each other more and more. They're going to extend the first invitation. Maybe you'll be expected to extend further invitations after that, just to like make sure that they know that you also reciprocate this interested energy in them. But yeah, you guys, this is someone that you just met, someone you have a deep, instant attraction, connection to, someone that maybe you're a little not trusting of, but I think that the crux of you not being trusting of them is just because of both of your guys' past, experiences and relationships. But I think that this person they do have genuine feelings towards you, or a genuine interest towards you, and they're going to extend some sort of, platonic invitation to be able to suss out that connection that they have with you. But okay, pile number 6, this was your reading. I hope you liked that. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, but I am moving on to pile number 7. Let's get some coffee. All right. Pile number 7, hello. If you chose the Fool, the Fool and the Chariot, this will be your pile. This was such a beautiful card to come out. So the Fool came out first, but then the Chariot just shot out right afterwards. And the way that the cards shot out, it was just the Fool staring at the Chariot. So instantly, this is giving me the energy of, them seeing you. And I don't know if this is someone that they, regardless of whether or not this is, someone you just met or someone that's known you, this is how they see you. They just see, this Fool is staring at the sun, and then the Chariot is right there behind it. So they just feel they're admiring you. They see you as someone so confident, so strong-willed, so determined, and it's just such like, this Chariot person's giving me an Empress. I feel like the Empress is inside of that Chariot. And so it's just like they feel like the Fool who's just like, just like a child, naively, innocently watching and admiring this person as they strongly go towards what they want and their ambitions in life. And it's just like these cards that came out together were just so powerful. And then like, look at the cards that you guys have. Look at the cards that you guys have for like the connection in your life right now. It was the Two of Cups came out first, and then the Ace of Cups came out. And then after that, it was the Four of Pentacles and the Moon to sort of clarify them. So this is someone in your life. This is someone that you are dating. This is someone that you have romantic interest in. That I'm pretty confident in saying I think that you are dating them. I think that you are, in union with them, especially the Two of Cups and then the Ace of Cups. So it's counting down, and when things count down instead of count up, it makes me feel like it's so much more imminent. So maybe this is someone that you are like romantically seeing right now, and I think that it's something that you guys both know that it's in a very romantic way. And I think that there is some sort of, we'll get more into it about whether or not you guys are already in like a full-blown romantic union, but there is definitely obvious romantic feelings right now. And so I think, okay, so with the further cards being, the Moon and the Four of Pentacles, I am thinking this is something that's very obviously romantic. You guys have a very obvious, deep connection for each other. I think that it's something that is just starting to, you're just starting to uncover like the true deep foundation of it. So I think that you guys are just starting to, dig beneath the surface and build this big foundation or this solid foundation. So I think it's someone that you are in romantic union with right now. I don't, regardless of any labels, it's someone that you are romantically seeing, romantically involved in, and it's someone that you are really hoping to be able to like build this foundation with, and someone who is also hoping to do that with you. With the Fool and the Chariot, the fact that this is also the only group where 2 cards came out, I'm getting that this is very much like the union of you guys, and so I feel like this is a very strong, deep, romantic connection. I'm feeling like this person very much, their energy is, they're very innocent, very childlike. I think that they have a very like open, go with the flow sort of energy, and I feel like you probably have a very much more determined, regimented sort of energy where you know what you want and you're going to go and get it. And I think the Fool person also knows what they want, but I think that they're, I think that, maybe you are a little bit more of like the career ambitious, work-oriented one, and I think that, they also have some of that energy, but I think that most of their energy is spent just sort of like in adoration of you. And so I think that you guys both have very strong energies, but I think in your connection, I think that's something like a really big part of this connection is just how much they do admire you and how much they feel like you have attributes that maybe they don't have, or maybe you really sit in attributes and empower and have attributes that are empowered in you that are maybe a little understated in them. And so I feel like you are just such a strong being who like looks straight forward, straight ahead, level-headed, knows what they're doing, and is very, determined. You have a good time, but it's a little bit like work hard, play hard, but less of the play hard. It's like work hard and then like just rest and rejuvenate hard so that you can go back to working hard. I'm getting a lot of like Virgo energy from you, honestly. Also some Capricorn, but I'm getting that this person's energy in your life, this is someone that you've known for a little bit. You've been consistently growing a foundation with. They've been someone that just makes it very obvious to you how interested they are in you and how much they do admire you. So it's someone who, you'll catch them staring at you. You'll catch them just sort of like smiling about like little things that you do. They're just going to be constantly like in awe of the things that you do. So they're not going to take you for granted like at all. I think that they're going to see you as someone very singular, very individualistic, and they're going to very much know that they cannot find anyone else like you anywhere, and so they're going to just be constantly in this energy of just staring at you and admiring you. And so yeah, if you guys have anyone in your life, I feel like you guys should know who this person is. If you don't have anyone in your life like this right now, and you did feel drawn, like highly drawn to this pile, it could be that someone like this is coming into your life very soon, and like very, very soon, because, you know, with the Chariot card, and then a way that you could potentially recognize them is, you know, if there's someone who just makes it so obvious their infatuation with you. It's someone who is just going to, like, they're going to pursue you from the get-go. They're gonna, you know, if you meet them, and, you know, if it's a situation with other people around, they're going to really make a point of going up and talking to you. If you meet them just casually, like you just are walking by each other in the street, I think, you know, something about you catches their eye, and they just like go up, and they like, maybe they make some sort of conversation with you, but it's going to be them pining after you, them pursuing you, and them making it glaringly obvious how interested they are in you. They don't have any sort of, you know, shame or embarrassment or reservations about pursuing you. They're just like, I see this person looks insanely incredible, and I am going to do everything in my power to pursue them and get to know them and be with that energy for as long as I can. And so, and then, you know, so right now right now the energy of your connection is you're letting that happen, you know. You're in the Two of Cups with them. You've sort of immediately drawn into this union, you know. You guys are very immediately drawn to each other. They're very drawn to you, and I think that you sort of appreciate how much they sort of pine after you. I think that you think it's very cute and adorable. I think that also this is also giving me an energy of like maybe a lot of people are drawn to you. You're giving me a very sort of singular, distinct, you know, it's giving me girl boss energy, even if you don't identify as, you know, a girl or a woman or a female or anything like that. It's giving me sort of like the people see you, and, you know, you're just a boss, but you're like, you know, a feminine, self-empowered boss. And so I think that it could be something like maybe a lot of people are attracted to you or drawn to you at first, and you sort of, you know, usually you hate that energy. You think it's a little maybe desperate or cringe when other people are just sort of like so, you know, obsessively trying to get to know you, and maybe you don't like the attention because you can tell that it's from people who you wouldn't get along with, or it's from people who maybe are, you know, projecting, and that's why they're so obsessed with you. But I think that you instantly are able to tell that this person is just a genuine person, and they see you for who you are, and they're just so down to earth and innocently and genuinely obsessed and interested in you for exactly who you are, and it just draws you to them. So it's like right off the bat there's a Two of Cups, you know, immediately there's like some sort of union, and then after that is when there comes the Ace of Cups. So I think that you guys very quickly come together. I think this is someone that you very instantly sort of had like a very quick like get together with, you know, like you guys meet each other in the real world, you know, maybe it's even like they come across you on a dating app, and they very quickly like super like you, and then like try to get together with you, meet in real life, and it just happens very quickly. They pursue you very quickly, you meet very quickly, you get to know each other very quickly, and then, you know, it's giving me an energy of like you guys instantly like fall in love and connect. But then like after that comes like the reasons and the substance behind falling in love. It's like you guys meet, and like that chord is activated, and then later on you guys sort of like get to fill in the blanks and fill in the puzzle pieces of like why that chord is there to exist like in the first place. It's a beautiful energy, it really is. I was really looking forward to doing this pile because, you know, this is always a fun, wonderful message to deliver. So I think like with the moon, it's definitely like something was hidden at first with this connection, you know, because it was pretty sudden, you know. This person just sort of like went over, pined after you, and maybe you appreciated the energy at first, but you were still just a little bit skeptical. But then, you know, you got to know this person, you were like, yeah, no, they're obsessed with me because they're the type of person who should be obsessed with me, because I'm also now obsessed with them. And so you guys, you know, build this Four of Pentacles together. You guys are like in the middle of that right now, and that's where your current connection is. And I am so excited. Let's see their feelings towards you. I'm so excited to see this. Let's see their feelings towards you. And so I love doing, I love pre-shuffling the cards about who they are because honestly, so I do want to give a disclaimer, regardless of the cards that come out when I ask how they feel about you, we're getting a lot of lovey-dovey energy right now. And so, but why I like doing this is because, like pre-selecting these cards about, their current energy and their connection in your life is because it could be that their current energy in their life is very misaligned with, how they actually feel and the actual like inevitable outcome of this connection. But, let's see. I know in some of the other groups, maybe, how they felt or how they thought they felt about the person wasn't exactly aligned with how they truly did feel or, their actions that they were planning on taking. But let's see about pile 7. Oh, I'm just noticing this too. You have pile 7 and then the chariot card 7. So 777 could be a synchronicity for you guys. But let's see. So how does this person feel about pile 7? How do they feel about pile 7? The Emperor. Interesting. Okay. How do they feel? They feel kind of like possessive over you. It is an energy. Oh my god, the Lovers. Yeah, they feel possessive over you because I think that it is an energy of like they're just like this fool staring in admiration and adoration of you. And so it is like they feel like they know they're not going to be able to meet anyone else like you. And so I think that they're really 7 of Pentacles too. They're willing to put in the work. They really want to. They want to stay devoted to you. They want to stay connected to you. They're willing to put in the work because of that, and they feel very like possessive and controlling over you because of that. Because they're a little worried about because it is so obvious that they're pining after you. They're a little worried that it's a case of like they like you more than you like them. And so we have the Lovers here, so how do they feel towards you? They obviously love you. They have deep love and affection and feelings towards you. But I think that there is some sort of, there's some sort of like holding on a little too tightly. Or, maybe not, too tightly, but there's some sort of just, they have a firm grip on you. Yeah, 10 of Swords. So how do they feel about you? They're worried. They're very obsessed with you. They're really into you. And so it's a little bit worrying for them because they're a little, it's the energy of like, they like you so much it could really hurt if, they're scared of the hurt if you like abandon them or leave them, like, they love you so much, how much they love you like scares them. And so because they want to keep tight control on you because they want you to just be theirs, and so they're willing to put in this work. And I think that they've also felt like they've put in so much work to get to this point. I feel like they're like, I kissed so many frogs. Finally, I found this person. I cannot let go of them whatsoever, like for the life of me. I need to, prove and do everything I can in my power to prove and show to this person that like I'm worthy of, being in this connection with, and, building this stable foundation with them. And so yeah, they feel very deeply connected to you. There is an energy of it being a little, this, I'm not going to say this relationship is karmic, but there's an energy of how deeply tied to you being a little karmic, there is a little bit of energy, especially with the Fool of feeling like, I'm, they know who they are, but I don't think that they're very confident in themselves. Like, I think that they see you as just like sort of like this gem, this beautiful star in the sky that they've somehow managed to like capture and keep for themselves, but they don't know how they managed to do that, and they don't trust in their ability to keep on, holding on to you. It's very much like they don't believe that you could genuinely like them back because of how because of both how deeply they love and adore and admire you, and also how sort of like little they think of themselves. I think that they do have a lot of sort of insecurity issues, and like self-worth issues, and so I think that that's sort of projecting a little bit into your relationship, and it's causing them to want to keep a very firm, tight grip on you because of their fear in losing you, or their fear in you like realizing that you are too good for them and leaving them. That really is like their biggest fear, or in you just realizing how like singular and incredible and amazing you are, and just going off and finding someone else. And so they do have like a lot of worry and concern about that. And so I think that that's a little bit where I think that that could be like the energy of where your relationship is at currently. So I think that you guys do have like a lot of love for each other. You're in the process of building this really strong foundation with each other, but I think that also you guys are probably starting to now sort of uncover maybe some of the unhealthy tendencies in this relationship, or just the things that you need to like heal before you guys can come into like, before you guys can truly have like this stable foundation, like you guys, this person will need to work through a little bit of like their possessiveness issues, their abandonment issues, their trust issues. They're going to have to learn that they are worthy of, this love, because I think, for how much this person is obsessed with you, I think that you're also going to be very obsessed with them. And so I think that there is going to be an energy of them needing to take a more tempered approach, a more balanced approach, have some boundaries. Codependency is something to watch out for in this relationship, because this person is going to be very obsessed with you, very in love with you, and it is, a true, genuine love, but it's also just sort of like a love that is highlighting some unhealthy relationship patterns that they have, and so you are going to need to like work through it with them, or you're going to need to, just ensure that you have boundaries up so that you can identify when this is looking a little more codependent, so that you guys can both sort of like retreat back into your own energies and, get back to your own stable self, and then come back to this person. So let's see what their actions towards you are. I'm feeling like they probably really are looking for something very stable. I think that they're really looking to build like a foundation with you. They're really looking to build a relationship with you. They want this to get like as committed as quickly as you'll let it, basically. But I'm feeling like you probably are going to want to take a little bit more of like a balanced, detached approach, because I am getting, they are the Fool trust, so they may, they have some foolish tendencies. And then you're the Chariot, you're so, you sit back and you evaluate the field, and you go confidently towards what you think is worth going towards. And so I think that you are going to have an energy of like understanding that maybe this relationship is moving a little too quickly, and you guys need to slow it down a little bit so that you guys can, ward off codependency. And I think that that may be kind of the energy that you guys are in. But let's see the actions that they take towards you. So yeah, the Fool, the actions that they take towards you. Yeah, they're going to keep wanting to like, every milestone that you reach in your relationship, they're going to just want to reach a new milestone right after that. They're like, yep, let's keep it going. New beginnings after new beginnings after new beginnings, King of Cups. Yeah, so they just want ultimate emotional fulfillment with you. And and so I don't want you to get the idea that this is any sort of like unhealthy karmic relationship. This is just simply a relationship that has, with people that are, with unhealed traumas. And, all relationships are like that, because no one is completely healed. There's always more healing to do. And oh my God, and then we have the Chariot on the back of the deck, which is, the two cards that you have, the Fool and the Chariot, were, wanting to come out again. But so I think that this is someone who does have genuine feelings towards you, and this can be like a truly healthy relationship, but it's also just something where it's, a relationship that's is, you know, there will be, you know, codependent red flags. And so it's not in taking the red flags and saying, oh, this relationship is doomed, but it's in taking the red flags and like learning from them, you know, because this person is, and it's not like, you know, red flags. It's just little, you know, unhealthy tendencies. This person just like really being so emotionally connected to you, maybe they lose sight of, you know, themselves. Oh my gosh, and then we have the sun. The sun and justice. Oh, yeah. So I mean, they're gonna want everything with you that you are willing to have with them. And so I think that they, you know, I think that you are going to be, you know, oh my God, and then the Six of Pentacles, you are going to be the rate limiting step, so to speak, if you're familiar with science terms, which basically just means that, you know, they're going to be ready for commitment very quickly. You are going to be the one that's going to need to take some more time. They're going to be the one who's constantly ready to take new steps. You're going to be the one who's going to say, wait, let's do this first before we take this step, or it's going to be you, you know, who's going to have to like give the okay to like take this new next step with, you know, they're going to be automatically down to reach all these new milestones, you know, they're going to be down to move in together quickly, to put a label on it quickly, say I love you, etc., etc. You're going to be the one who's going to, you know, think, are we quite ready for this right now? Am I ready for this right now? And so this is going to be someone who is going to, oh my gosh, I mean, their actions towards you, yeah, are just exactly as much as you want them to be. They're going to take as many and as big of actions as you will allow them to, because they truly have deep feelings for you. But okay. I mean, just to recap a little bit, so this is someone who you are, I mean, definitely in some sort of like romantic relationship with right now, romantic, you know, connection with right now, situationship, what have you. This is someone who just so deeply admires and is obsessed with you. It can make them maybe a little codependent, maybe a little, maybe it can, you know, blur their vision to some of the realities of your relationship. You know, maybe they have on some rose-colored glasses. They can't exactly see, you know, maybe they're the type of person who's like, oh, it's just all gonna work out because we love each other. And you're the person who's like, well, actually, no, it's gonna, if we want it to work out, we need to like put in tangible steps to make it work out, you know? You know, they're the type of person who's like, oh, long distance, pish posh, we can do anything. And you're the person who's like, no, I need real, like, physical people there with me for me to feel loved and feel love. And so I think that, you know, there's some sort of energy of this person being a little naive to the realities of some things, and you sort of needing to level with them and watch out for any codependency tendencies, and just sort of ensure that this relationship is going at the pace that you're comfortable with and a pace that you think is healthy. But okay, pile 7, we are going to leave it there. If you liked this reading, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. But we are going on to the last and final pile, pile number 8. Do I not have my water bottle down here? No, I don't. Sad. Oh well. Hello, pile 8. If you chose the Magician, this will be your pile. So we have the Magician. Ooh, and then we have the Empress, the Ace of Wands, and the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. I think this is someone that you work with. So yeah, this is someone who just has a very strong, presence in the physical world. So they really the Magician. I mean, this is someone who can like just manifest anything that they want. They can create anything that they want. So I think this is someone who has like, I don't know, like something with their material possessions. They could either, just have a lot of money, or they could have like a Taurus sort of energy where they just like nice things. But mostly what I'm getting is that I think that you guys know each other from this sort of like pursuit of material possessions. So I think that you guys know each other from something like work, or something like, a side hustle, a side hobby, just something that you put in, that you put effort into for it to, give you a return. It's not just something that you do for fun. It's something that you do, maybe you do it for fun, but also like for an actual sort of like reward or end result, so it could be something like, there's a person that you've gotten to help with a side hustle that you have. Maybe you're just starting out a new business and you needed to hire someone to help you do some things or learn some things about it or set up some things, and this is that person. Or, it is just someone like a coworker, or, maybe it's just someone who's involved with the creation process somehow. For example, if you're a writer, maybe this is the person involved in publishing. Or if you, this is another random example, if you're a barista, maybe this is someone who like just comes and like cleans the shop at the end of the day. This is someone who's just like, who's involved in your work life somehow, and that's how you meet them. Some sort of, and I don't think it's like a direct sort of, this is a person who has your same job that you're with every single day. This is just someone that you are like exposed to in the workplace, maybe a little bit on a consistent manner, but it could also just be like for a finite period of time, so maybe this is someone who, like works in the same building as you, and you see them consistently like once a week on like Thursdays or something. Or this is someone that, like you hired them as like a web guy for your new website, and there's someone who's going to be consistently working with you for the next couple of weeks on your website. And so this is someone, definitely that you have work, hobby, material experience with, and that's how you know them, and that's how you can suss out their energy. Yes, because their current energy in your life. So we have the Empress. So this is a very fertile card. So this is giving me energy. This is probably something like a creative pursuit of yours. This is probably someone, even if it is a coworker, even if you have like an office job that you're not so psyched about, maybe this is a coworker who, maybe their job is really interesting to you. Or maybe it's just like what you connect with them about is really interesting, so maybe you have like a boring old office job, but then maybe this is the person who like, coordinates like staff, like get-togethers or something. And so it's like, and that's how you get to know them, because they, coordinated a get-together that you attended. And so it's someone who you have like a building, like work pentacles grounded energy with, but then also like it is fiery and fun and passionate, because we also have the Ace of Wands, so you're creating something fun with them. I am getting that probably for most of people this is going to be someone who like comes across your path as you are just like sort of pursuing something that is a passion or a hobby. So I think that it is going to be someone who does like, so even, for example, I'm starting out like this, tarot YouTube thing. So it could be, if this is my pile, for example, it could be someone like another YouTuber who helps me along and who like gives me some insight and advice, or just someone maybe that I reach out for insight and advice. And then, yeah, and that's this person. And so it's definitely already, I'm getting the energy that they really appreciate your energy. They like building things with you. There's a lot of creation here. Each of these cards are about creation. The Empress, Ace of Wands, and the Three of Pentacles, but they're all such different sort of creations. I mean, the Empress gives me water energy, but also like wands, fiery energy. So it's like creating something emotionally fulfilling, but also like creatively, sacral chakra fulfilling. But then the Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands is something also very, sacral chakra, passionate, creating something passionate. But then the Three of Pentacles is creating something, stable, something like creating a third energy, creating something that's grounded. So there is like a nice, beautiful mix of, they really enjoy emotionally connecting with you, but then also, just sort of like passionately connecting with you in this grounded way. So they really like creating whatever it is that they're creating with you, because it's fun, but also it's very satisfying for them, and they can tell that it's going to be very fruitful. So let's get the energy of, so yeah, that's who they are, how they come across. They're just someone who's I think that they're very talented and skilled in some aspects. I think this is someone who is very creative, and so I think that this really could be like an energy of you seeking out their help. And so I think that if it is that way, I think that they are someone very talented, someone very creative with a lot of skill sets and a lot of natural expertise. Even if it isn't like technical expertise, I think that they're just someone who's very like naturally gifted and naturally skilled. And so let's see, how do they feel about you? How does this person feel about pile 8? Ooh, 10 of Wands. All right, let's see. Let's continue. Death. All right, so some sort of ending. This is interesting. Queen of Cups. The Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so I think this is interesting. So I think that it's kind of telling us, I think it's also, these cards are giving us their actions towards you also. So I think what's going to happen is, I think that they're, you work with them. You work with them for some period of time. And then there's some energy of like an ending. And so it's either, if this is like a coworker who like in your office or something, there's some sort of ending where, maybe they leave and they get a new job, or maybe they get transferred to a different department, but it's some sort of like ending in the current situation where you met them. And so if it's something like, you contracted them to help you put together a website, then, their contract is up and the website is finished, and so that ended. Or if it's something like, they're in the same company as you, they could be moving jobs completely or just moving, buildings or offices, some sort of ending where I think they'll probably no longer be in your space. And I think that, I don't know, it's interesting. I think that it's not really up to them, I don't think. I think that or maybe it is up to them, but it's just
Emma?
what? Sorry about that. But okay. So yeah, I think that there's some sort of like ending in whatever situation that you guys initially meet or find yourself in, and I don't really think that it's necessarily up to them. I don't think that it's something. I don't know. This guy looks kind of tired, so maybe it's something that they're not too psyched about. But I think it's, you know, mostly just sort of something that is like an ending, and so something that they do have to just sort of kind of pick themselves up from. And so I think that this really is just something that happens, and which is so interesting because I mean what it's getting from me is that like now that they're out of this situation, or now that this thing ended, they can come and like, you know, offer something towards you, because I think that they do have some sort of like interest in you. But so that's why it's like interesting, the timing of this all like working out, because it does seem like there is just some sort of like natural ending, you know, where they're able to just sort of say like, oh yeah, now our like work connection is over, so now it's not going to be weird or awkward of me to try and, you know, pursue something else with this person. And so yeah, with death, I mean, it's like so beautifully obvious what these cards are saying. It's just like, you know, that ending from the Ten of Wands, and then, you know, they get to transmute that ending into like potentially a new beginning with you. And so that's when they're able to sort of, you know, come up with their Queen of Cups and their Knight of Pentacles and say, hey, you know, like I'm leaving the company, or I'm transferring somewhere else, but I really liked, you know, hanging out with you, and I had really fun when we like worked on that project together, or when we, you know, went out for drinks that time with coworkers. I was wondering if you would, you know, want to do it again, or, you know, hang out with me in another context. And so there is something like that. There's something where it's like, you know, you guys worked together, you guys had a good time, you guys both now just like, you guys appreciate and like each other's presences. I think that you guys both just have like a respect for each other, like an admiration and respect for each other, because I think that you really admire how this person is just so creative and so able to like take charge of their life and manifest things for themselves. And then I think that they really admire whatever this is that you worked on, or whatever it is. Like there's just some sort of, there's also a very sort of creative aspect of you. And so even if this is like, you know, you guys just have an office job, and then you guys just, you know, went out for drinks together sometime, and that's, you know, sort of this playful energy that they really enjoyed. I think that they got a sense of you as being someone very artistic and creative, someone very ambitious and passionate about things, and about like beautiful things, not just like, you know, passionate about money. It's something like passionate about like life and art and beauty. And so I think that they really appreciate that about you. And there's just like, yeah, just sort of like a mutual respect. I think that you guys are both very similar people, but maybe you guys have different skill sets or like different paths, but they're also very mirrored and similar. And so there's just a deep respect between both of you, and just a deep sort of knowing, like, you know, I get along with this person. I feel like it would just be so logical and just makes such good sense for us to come together. But, you know, right now maybe we have this sort of professional relationship and it's not the time. But, you know, eventually some ending will occur. Something will displace this person from their circumstance. Or maybe it's you. Maybe, you know, you decide to quit this office job and go off and do something, you know, that you're a little bit more passionate about. And, but it's something that ends your professional relationship so that there can be an opportunity for a rebirth into like a more emotional, loving relationship. And so I think that was your reading, pile 8. So who is this? This is someone that you're currently working with in some sort of, you know, material, physical, grounded way, you know, a passion project or a hobby or work, someone that helps you do something, or someone that you're working with, collaborating with in some sort of work aspect, someone that you've like recently too, so I don't think this is someone, or I mean, it could even be someone who, like, you know, a year ago you worked on this project with, and ever since then you were like, man, I really got on so well with that person. I wish that we weren't coworkers so that we could, you know, explore this further. And then, yeah, eventually, like, you know, you're coming up. I don't know if this happened yet or if this is just going to happen very imminently. Something's going to, like, end your professional relationship so that you can so that this person can offer you something, because that is what's going to happen. I think that you both have some sort of like a low-key unspoken interest in the other, and maybe that'll be a little surprising for you to realize that they do also have like a reciprocated interest in you, and they are going to make that obvious when, you know, this ending occurs and then they offer you, you know, to go out and get drinks with them or something, now that you guys aren't coworkers anymore. But okay, pile number 8, I'm gonna leave it there. If you liked this reading, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, keep your eyes out for any new readings of mine that I have. But bye.